Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 5 days since Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan was attacked in Bandra, that too in the heart of the city. But the mystery surrounding the shocking assault only deepens. There are glaring lapses, unanswered questions, inconsistencies in the investigation that have now gripped the entire nation. Mumbai police officer initially handling this entire case has now been replaced. Shiv Sena leader has now demanded answers, saying that the family must speak up, not just from the police but from the Khans as well as the Kapoor family. A lot of twists and turns in this high-profile case. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on This Is Exclusive, I'm going to take you through the major inconsistencies in the investigation that has been carried out. And these are questions that come up after the statements that have been made by the Mumbai police themselves. Let's first take you through the response that came in from Mumbai police about the accused. The fact that the accused had come in just about a few days ago. You need to listen to what the Mumbai police had to say just a few days ago very carefully, because I'm going to put this into context as to why there are glaring loopholes in the investigation. First, listen in to what the Mumbai police officer had to say.
इसमें प्राइमरी फेस ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो एक्यूज है ये बांग्लादेशी है और इंडिया में एंटर करने के इलीगली एंटर करने के बाद इस एक्यूज ने इसका नाम चेंज किया है, वो एक रीजन हो सकता है।
क्या नाम रख के अभी रह रहा था और मुंबई में
विजय दास।
मुंबई में कहाँ से रह रहा था सर, कब से रह रहा था?
ये एक्यूज पिछले पिछले 5-6 महीने पहले मुंबई आया है, ऐसा पता चला है। कुछ दिन ये मुंबई में रहा, बाद में मुंबई की विसिनिटी के कुछ टाउन्स में रहा और 15 दिन पहले फिर मुंबई आया है, ऐसा इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पता चला है।
क्या काम करता था सर ये?
हाउसकीपिंग एजेंसी में काम करता था।
किसी बार में काम किया, किसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट?
हाउसकीपिंग एजेंसी में काम करता था।
Now, it's important to point out here that the Mumbai police says that the accused came in just about a few months ago. In fact, the accused was working in Worli, thereafter shifted to Thane. Now, the news that we need to put out on our screens is that there was no recce that was actually carried out by the alleged attacker. If that's the case, now let's take you through the big contradictions that are really emerging from the investigation that has been carried out. So put this into perspective. The fact that the police says he came in just about a few months ago and was there for about 5 to 6 months, was working in Worli as well as in Thane. There's no connection of Bandra whatsoever. He's worked in a restaurant in Worli and Thane. These are places which are perhaps not close to Bandra, but only Worli. Now, if at all the attempt was to carry out robbery, then why would someone who came into the city just about 5 months ago decide that he is going to randomly go inside the house of an actor that a few kilometers away, not from Worli, not from Thane, but he chooses to go to Bandra? The accused did not conduct any recce. So if he did not conduct any recce, then how did he really know that Saif Ali Khan was living in that building? How did he get the kind of access that he got while entering to in that building? Let's take you through the other. Accused in Mumbai was since just about 6 months. So within the 6 months, he does not carry out a recce, but manages to enter the building, climb 12 floors and go directly inside Jay's room, gets full access to it, and all of this happening without any sort of an insider help. Now, this is a question that Mumbai police will have to answer. Accused had absolutely no connection with Saif staff. Now, this is what the Mumbai police maintains as of now. If at all they come up with some sort of a link in the days to come, we do not know. But the reality is that without any particular help coming in from Saif staffs, how does the accused really manage to climb 12 floors in? No one really stops him. No cameras really catch him apart from the 6th floor building CCTV footage camera, because that is also now questionable. Let's take you through the other claims that have been made and the contradictions that have taken place so far. There is absolutely no history of travel to Bandra, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is a claim by the Mumbai police. If that is the case, how exactly does he know what was happening in that area? accused has been, once again, remember, for the last 6 months, he has been in Mumbai in different parts, in Worli and in Thane. Now, this is important. Saif was stabbed 6 times. Who's saying this? The doctor of Lilavati Hospital. If that's the case, there were no blood stains on the accused's clothes. If you remember the CCTV footage that we played just about a few days ago of him coming down after allegedly committing the crime, there are no blood stains. Has the Mumbai police recovered the clothes that he was wearing on that very night? Remember, they have been taking it one by one. Evidence that they say that they've been collecting over the last few days. So there is no blood stain, at least to the naked eye, does not really look like. Let's take you through the other point. Lilavati Hospital apparently called the Mumbai police. Now that's what we are being told by our sources. So what really happened? No call was made by Saif's staff. If you remember the auto rickshaw driver who spoke to us just about a few days ago, he said that when Saif Ali Khan was inside that auto rickshaw driver, accompanied by a 7-year-old child, along with a domestic help, there were no phone calls that were actually being made by him. Now, assuming that there was some phone call that was actually made from his staff members, then we do not know, but the reality is this is what we are picking up, that the call actually came in from Lilavati Hospital. Now, why was the police not informed earlier is one question that perhaps the Kapoors will have to answer. That is where you have the bigger picture, the larger picture now emerging with the Shiv Sena leader. The party is in power. They say that the Kapoors should now answer. They need to tell us what really happened on that very night, because these are all questions that remain completely unanswered. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on this big exclusive that we are bringing across to you, because these are finer details of the investigation that we have found loopholes in, and all of them being verified after speaking to multiple sources. No clear answer really coming in from Mumbai police. We're hoping that the Mumbai police will be in a position to answer these very questions, because these are questions that people of Mumbai are really now asking. That after all, what's really happening? The person who has been arrested, is he the right person? What is the real motive behind the crime? All of it not really known. So the question is, who exactly is now hiding the truth? Ladies and gentlemen, shifting focus now to the other big story. We are getting it tonight. This is an exclusive report coming in from Manipur. Tonight, we bring you the volatile truth from the Indo-Myanmar border, where there's been absolute chaos, there's been absolute destruction, and these are just hours away from a village in Myanmar. And what we are being told, this area has been completely devastated by a deadly airstrike. The aftermath. Hundreds of Myanmar nationals who've been fleeing, seeking refuge in India's border villages. Now, as tension escalates, Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh has sounded the alarm, raising critical concerns over the unchecked influx. The question basically that looms large: can our northeastern states withstand this unprecedented challenge from war-torn Myanmar? Calls for NRC implementation also seems to be growing in Manipur. Now, in this edition, first we are going to take you through what's really happening on the ground. This is the aftermath of the devastation that we are seeing right now on the ground, particularly the Indo-Myanmar border, and why Manipur is now staring at yet another big crisis coming in. First, take a look at this report.
अभी हम इंडो म्यांमार बॉर्डर पर खड़े हैं और बॉर्डर का माहौल बहुत ही तनावपूर्ण है। आपको जैसे मालूम है कि लगातार म्यांमार में जुंटा आर्मी अपना एक से एक जो स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड है वो खो रहे हैं, और उसके चलते ही काफ़ी सारे लोग जो वहाँ पर बेघर हुए हैं वो अभी इंडिया में आकर के पनाह ले रहे हैं। काफ़ी सारे लोग मणिपुर में आए हैं, काफ़ी सारे लोग मिज़ोरम में आए हुए हैं, और एक के बाद एक कैंप जो म्यांमार जुंटा आर्मी का वो लोग खो रहे हैं। लेकिन जैसे ही वो लोग अपना कैंप खो रहे हैं, वो लोग भी हमला लगातार बढ़ा दिए हैं। उन लोगों ने हमला यहाँ पर बढ़ा दिए हैं। हम लोग बॉर्डर से ये तस्वीरें आपको ला रहे हैं। ये जो आप नदी देख रहे हैं, ये नदी के उस पार म्यांमार है और इस पार इंडिया है। इंडिया यानी हम लोग अभी मणिपुर में खड़े हैं, और जैसे हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं अभी जस्ट 2 मिनट पहले हमको गोली चलने की आवाज़ वहाँ पर सुनाई दिया। एक राउंड वहाँ पर फायर हुआ है और अभी हमको बताया जा रहा है कि हम लोगों को यहाँ से जल्द निकल जाना चाहिए. The situation in Myanmar is on the edge. The Myanmar junta army is losing one after another stronghold. In Saga region now, which is hardly the area that you see beyond this bridge, this is the Saga division of Myanmar, and right now we are standing in Manipur, and you can see the vacant post of the Myanmar junta army along the Indo-Myanmar border. Right across the bridge there is not a single person on that side of the border. You can see the post, the security post of the Myanmar junta army is completely vacant because the fight is escalating between the rebels and the Myanmar junta army, and they are fleeing from their post. But yes, as they are fleeing from their post, the situation has further deteriorated in the villages. Khampat is the location in Myanmar where regular bombing is taking place. From this place, it is hardly 35 kilometers away, a drive of around 50 minutes, where today morning also Myanmar junta army and the Myanmar Air Force carried out multiple number of strikes. No media is being allowed to cross this particular point. Assam Rifles have set up camps, they have set up bunkers here, they are monitoring the situation round the clock.
In fact, while this report was actually being filed by my colleague Anirudh, gunshots were actually heard. Now, what was happening? The fight between the Arakan army and the junta essentially leading to a situation where the tussle has intensified, resulting in a situation that most of the Myanmaris are now trying to enter the Indian border. So much so that the government of India estimates that over 300 people may have actually entered in the last few days itself. And that is the reason why there is a massive repercussion that's taking place with the Manipur government now is beginning the biometric attendance of each of these people who are entering the border areas. First, take a look at this consolidated report coming in from More. This is from the border town. What's the situation on the ground like and why it would have a direct ramification across the northeastern states?
Just 2 मिनट पहले हमको गोली चलने की आवाज़ वहाँ पर सुनाई दिया.
Volatility continues to prevail on the Indo-Myanmar border. Watch how Myanmar's Khampat, which is hours away from Manipur, is in complete ruins as an aftermath of the deadly airstrike.
Right now we are standing in Manipur, and hardly 1 kilometer away from this Indo-Myanmar Friendship Bridge is the city of Tamo, which is now the last stronghold of the Myanmar junta army in Myanmar. As the situation has turned upside down in Myanmar, a lot of people from Tamo and Sagaing area are now fleeing for safe places. Khampat is the location in Myanmar where regular bombing is taking place. From this place, it is hardly 35 kilometers away, a drive of around 50 minutes, where today morning also Myanmar junta army and the Myanmar Air Force carried out multiple number of strikes.
यहाँ पर जो बर्मा का जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है, यहाँ पर कल परसों में बर्मा जुंता में एयर स्ट्राइक किया खम्पत पर. बहुत आदमी घायल हुआ है और घर भी कितना बांधा हुआ और कितना बर्मा का जो हमारा बहन लोग भाई लोग है यहाँ में आके मोर देन 300 जैसा इधर में आया. CSO मोरे HTC का ब्रांच के नीचे में सब वो लोग देखभाल कर रहा है. अभी बर्मा का सिचुएशन बहुत ख़राब है. यहाँ पब्लिक इसे जाना बहुत डेंजर हो रहा है और यहाँ में पब्लिक का सर्वाइवल भी बहुत मुश्किल है. डे टू डे खाना पीने का डेली ढूंढने का बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है.
As an aftermath of this attack, at least 300 Myanmar nationals are seen taking refuge close to the Howling Phai village near Manipur. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has raised serious concerns over the influx from Myanmar into Manipur.
Since 2021, the unrest happening in Myanmar, because of that, many refugees coming inside. We are also providing shelter for them in some areas in consultation with the Home Ministry, and we are providing their food and shelter homes like this, but we could not provide for as a whole.
Watch how biometric registration of these illegals has gathered pace in the state of Manipur. However, the Governor of Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity iterated on the importance of the NRC to prevent the influx of illegal immigrants.
In order to help resolve this crisis, we have been demanding the exercise of NRC, because we have to identify by individuals, not by community, not by particular ethnicity or community. We don't say that. The state government already has its own list of recognized ethnic communities and tribes list. It will help the state to understand the actual demography of the state, to understand the genuine population, to understand the migrant population, which will also help in making the administration convenient and much better.
The question, however, remains: will the northeastern states be able to battle the challenge of rising influx from a war-trodden Myanmar?
Well, these are pictures that no other network will actually show you, and why we are telling you that this is a cause of concern, ladies and gentlemen, because the government of India and the government of Manipur essentially estimates that in the last few days itself, in the last few weeks perhaps, over 300 people may have actually entered from the Indo-Myanmar border, and that is the reason why biometric process has already begun. Let's actually take you to the details that are now emerging. In fact, the Chief Minister of Manipur has responded to this report that has been filed from the border areas to tell you what's the current situation like and the number of people who have entered through. 300 people, we are being told, in the last few weeks have actually entered in the area. This is because of the volatile situation across the border, with the fight basically intensifying with the Arakan army as well as with the junta taking over some of the areas, trying to regain control in some of those areas. Listen in to what the Chief Minister had to say.
The day before yesterday, many has come due to some uncertainty and neighboring Tamil and neighboring areas, I'm told, but many has come. But the Assam Rifles, police, state police and civil administration are monitoring, and they are collecting biometrics. But one problem we are facing is that proper regulation we need as per the Home Ministry guideline. But we are trying to regulate properly.
Well, in fact, public bodies in Manipur are now raising concerns about whether at all this can continue any further. And that is the reason why there is a growing demand for the implementation of the NRC. COCOMI happens to be one such body making this demand that NRC should be implemented as soon as possible. Listen in to what the COCOMI leader had to say a short while back.
Constitutional, obligatory exercise which needs to be carried out in the state, like the delimitations, which has been pending for past many decades. So before doing that, and in order to help resolve this crisis, we have been demanding the exercise of NRC, because we have to identify by individuals, not by community, not by particular ethnicity or community. We don't say that. The state government already has its own list of recognized ethnic communities and tribes list. So we don't blame or accuse or charge any particular community to be refugees or influx migrants or whatsoever. But we want the entire population of the state to be re-registered through an exercise of NRC. That is what we have been demanding, and it will help the state to understand the actual, demography of the state, to understand the genuine population, to understand the migrant population, which will also help in, making the administration convenient and much better.
Now, as we come to the end of the news, let's record and summarize with Note Assist using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Chaos erupts at the Indo-Myanmar border as Myanmar's Khampat village is devastated by airstrikes, forcing hundreds of nationals to seek refuge in Manipur. The influx has prompted Chief Minister Biren Singh to raise alarms over the biometric registration concerns and accusing the Mizoram government of flouting the MHA guidelines. Calls for implementing the NRC have also gained momentum amid the escalating situation in the region. There you have it, the precise reading of the news in a simpler format using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. We'll be back with the headlines in a few minutes from now.